Hi, everyone, and welcome to the February edition of Quinyx Unlocked. My name's Lee. I'm the Product Enablement Lead, and I'm happy to welcome you to this exciting session. All right, but first, a couple of housekeeping items. Good to know you are in listen-only mode, so we cannot see you, we cannot hear you. You do not have to worry about that. If you do have a question or feedback, drop it in the chat, and we will address it live, or we'll follow up with you via email afterward. We are recording the session, so don't worry if you want to rewatch it or share it with your team. We will share the link to the replay after the session and in our thank you email. And if you'd like to go deeper, we have all kinds of information about this topic in help docs. Okay. And the agenda for today. What's new in Quinyx? Absence opportunities. You may have seen some information in the release notes or read our documentation. There's a lot to know, a lot of exciting functionality, and coming soon, daily planning. And we'll follow that up with some announcements about some fun webinars we want you to save the date for. And without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce our product manager, Maya, our expert for all things absences.
Thank you, Lee. Hello, everyone. As Lee said, I am Maya, and I'm working as product manager here at Quinyx. And today I'm really excited to be here with all of you and to be able to go into a deep dive about this new topic, absence opportunities. So this is a new functionality that is currently available in Quinyx, and that helps you manage one of the common challenges in the workforce management, which is what to do when your actual demand doesn't really match your schedule. So to start with, the first one is actually the challenge. So I want to explain more what is the problem that we are trying to solve. So let me paint some familiar picture. Let's say that is a Tuesday morning and you realize that today's customer traffic is going to be much lower than you have forecasted. So maybe there is an unexpected weather change, maybe there was a big event that was canceled, or maybe there are just like pattern shift. So you can look into your schedule and you realize that you maybe have more people coming in today than you actually need. So what are your currently options today? You could maybe, like one option could be that you send people home. That can, in most of the cases, hurt the morale and might even have policy or legal implications. So depending on your employee's agreement, you might not be able to do that in an easy way. Another option that you can keep everyone working, but that means that your labor costs are going to be higher than they need to be, and people are standing around with not enough work to do. Or you can scramble to find busy work, which nobody really enjoys. So this isn't just an occasional problem. I think for many of our customers that this happens on a weekly or daily basis. And each time it means that we either have a wasted labor budget or difficult conversations with employees. So we have there the big impact on the business where we cannot control those costs. We have reduced efficiency or stressed managers because they need to make sure that their schedule is aligned with all of those needs. So what can be the solution? So we are presenting here absence opportunities. We feel that absence opportunities change this dynamic completely. So instead of this being a problem that you need to solve by yourself, you can turn this into the opportunity to share this with your team. On the high level, when you are working as a manager and you feel that you're going to be overstaffed for a particular period, you can create an absence opportunity. Essentially, what you're doing is that you're offering a voluntary time off to your team. Maybe that can be for a few hours for the part of the shift. Maybe it's sending people earlier home that day, or it can be for the full duration of the shift, so that some people don't really actually come to work at all. In the settings of this, you can set up a few parameters. You can say when that will happen, how many people you want to not come to work, or any other relevant details. Then the next step is that your employees can see this opportunity in the mobile app and decide if they want to take that or not. Maybe someone was hoping that they can leave early for a family event, or maybe someone can just use that extra time off. So I think there will be a great appreciation for that flexibility. And I want to emphasize, I think that the key word here is opportunity, because nobody is forced to take this time off, but also nobody is forced to stay at work if this exists. So I would feel that this could be a true win-win situation between the organization, because you can control your labor costs without forcing anyone to go home, but also for the employees because they can get flexibility and choice. My next slide is going to be to show you quickly or high level how this, with few screenshots, how this actually works today in Quinyx. So on the left side, you can see we have a small configuration update. This is a toggle or checkbox, which is enabling you to say for every specific absence type if it will be available to work on this flow or not. My suggestion, or again, it depends on how you want to work with that, but you can also create a new absence type and specifically create it for this flow, making sure that this checkbox is there on the absence type configuration. Then next step would be if you're looking into the schedule view and you're working there the day before or maybe the same morning, and you realize that you want to send people home, you can go into the schedule, click on the three dots on the right side, and you can see that here there is a new option called Offer Absence Opportunity. Clicking there, you would be directed to this panel, which looks quite similar to all other panels that we have in Quinyx. So first thing you can configure is the date and the time. So it can be specifically for the whole day, or if you uncheck that, you can select for a specific period of time. Then you can specifically say one or more shift types for which you want to create this. So you maybe know that only specific shift types or only people assigned to specific shifts are the ones that are creating that overstaffing. Absence type, in this case, is only one that we can select, so it's only always there per default. And then you can say what will be the quantity. That represents basically the number of people that you want to spare. And then in the end, there is a manager comment field, which allows you to better explain to your employees why this opportunity is being created, and then also they can understand the background of that. If you click the offer button, this absence opportunity will be then visible to your employees in the app. Of course, they will also see the notification. So on the next slide here, you can see how this flow looks for them inside the mobile app. First of all, there will be the list of absence opportunities together with in the same place where the absence requests are, just in a different tab. So they can see if there are multiple of them, they can see them in one view. Also, for every specific absence opportunity, you will get the queue mail, and then if you can see here from the queue mail, there is a show up absence opportunity button, which will guide you to that one specifically. And then the last screenshot here is actually how it looks like for the employee when they want to accept or decline the offer. And then also on the last slide that I have when it comes to the screenshots from Quinyx, you can see that you as a manager also can have the overview of these absence opportunities inside the notifications panel. So inside this active tab, you have all the active absence opportunities at this moment. This one that I have on this example is expanded, so you can see more details. You can see the shift types for which ones it was created. You can see the comment that you have added, how many people have received the proposition, how many people have accepted. In this whole flow, if my employee inside the mobile app accepts the opportunity, that will be generated and shown to me as an absence request. So as you can see here on Monday example, this employee has absence request created for the full duration of their shift. This means that in the end, manager as the last step has the approval right. So then managers can, in the absence request dialog, they can see who has applied first, and then also decide that maybe people who have applied first should get this voluntary time off. One more note that I wanted to say. If you were part of the last webinar, you have probably heard from my colleague Arti that we are also in Quinyx working on the automated handling of absences. So good news is that functionality will be also applicable for these absence types, which means that if you don't want to have this last step where manager needs to again approve a voluntary time off, you can automate that based on different rules. And in that way, if employee actually says or accepts the voluntary time off, then basically that will be automatically approved, and those people who have accepted first will be the ones who will be getting the time off, basically. All right, and then on this next slide, I just wanted to one more emphasize what are the values that we see from the business and from the employee's perspective. The first and most obvious value from the business, I would say, is a cost control. So you can then align your actual staffing with the demand and then reduce the unnecessary labor cost. I would say that across the entire year and across the entire organization, that can be a significant money back in your budget. Second thing is the operational agility. So you're now no longer locked into the schedule that was built or forecasted some time ago. You can make sure that you adapt that in the real time. Third thing is that you are empowering your managers as well. So instead of them feeling stressed or helpless in these specific situations, we are now giving them a professional tool to make sure that they can proactively react on that. And the fourth one is that we think that this approach is compliance friendly because this is a voluntary process. You're not running into issues around forcing somebody to change their schedule, guaranteed hours, or other labor regulations that can vary by different markets. And then if we flip to the perspective of the employee, the biggest value I would say for them is flexibility. So absence opportunities would give them a legitimate way to take time without using their regular vacation or calling in sick. Also, it is transparent for them and it's fair because everyone who is working on that specific shift type, let's say, and who are eligible, they will see that at the same time. So people will be able to react and pick it up maybe before other colleagues if they feel that's urgent for them. We also feel that this builds trust. When you give employees choice instead of telling them what to do, I think that you're showing that you value their input and their respect for their needs outside of the work. And lastly, I would say that there is no penalty because the absence opportunities isn't going to make this day off count against their attendance record or to be seen as a performance issue for them. So this is also one of the benefits that we see for your employees. And I think overall, to summarize this story, I feel that this is a big cultural shift in the organization from that you must work your scheduled hours no matter what, or that you can be flexible and make sure that it makes sense for both parties in the same time. All right. And then if you're ready to use absence opportunities, if you think that this is something that will be valuable for your organization, some implementation steps. So from the configuration standpoint, we feel that it's quite easy, as you have seen. You can, in the communication with your Quinyx super users, we can just enable that functionality because it is just a settings toggle. You might want to get some organizational policies, like minimum notice periods or something similar, but those things are optional when it comes to Quinyx. Then I think that your managers or supervisors would need to get a brief training session on how this might work. And then again, for your employees, I think that the key part is the communication. So you want to announce this as a maybe new benefit or emphasize that this is voluntary, and then they make sure that they understand how it works so they can actually opt for these absence opportunities. And then lastly, we always, as always, we are providing Quinyx documentation. So there is a very nice article on how to work with absence opportunities that provides more details on this logic if I skip something today. So it could be possible that I didn't mention something, and probably those details will be available in that article. Great. So on the next slide, I just wanted to make this session a bit more interactive and to hear your feedback. So we have two questions that I wanted to ask you. First one is, I want to hear if absence opportunities, the things that you have heard, this problem, is this something that is interesting to you? And then also, do you think that this would be valuable and applicable in your organization? So I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes to just say and to make sure that I'm really interested in this feedback. So I want to see how do you feel about it. Just a little bit more. I don't know if you need more time, but I will wait 30 more seconds and then we can continue. All right, on to the next topic. So the next topic is part of this, what is coming soon and what is currently our focus in especially in my team and what we are looking into working on this year. So high level, I would say daily planning. And my idea for today's webinar is that I present to you the problem that we are currently hearing or seeing. And then of course, make sure that if you feel the same problem yourself in your organization, that if you want to be part of our discovery meetings, that you are able to do that. So on to the problem. The daily question. So I feel that every single day in stores, in factories, in warehouses, restaurants, wherever, in whichever industry where you use Quinyx, shift leaders look at the schedule and then they see who's coming to work, right? But they need to figure out, okay, who is on the register, who is covering the fitting room, who is on production line 1, and so on. So the schedule today will tell you who is working and when that person is working, but it doesn't really tell you what each person is doing or where when it comes to the location in your organization. So you might Think of this as a sub-level to the shift, the station, position, role, whatever you want to call it, on which someone is assigned within their working hours. And right now, that sub-level lives sometimes in Quinyx, so we do have some kind of support for that. But sometimes we have heard, as feedback from a lot of you, is that sometimes it lives somewhere else. And one of the examples is that sometimes it lives in the Excel sheet, on the printed report, on the whiteboard, on the wall in your office, or so basically a lot of different workarounds we have heard exist today that it's not actually in Quinyx. Why does this gap exist? Because there is a timing mismatch. So shifts would show you when people work and when you go to work. That gets decided like weeks or months in advance. So in manufacturing or in any other work vertical, you can know months in advance or even a year that when someone is working. And that's what Quinyx handles well. So we know that there are customers of ours that would roll out and publish schedules for the whole year. So this is what we already have. But that sub-level of what you're actually doing and where, that gets decided much later. So sometimes it can be a week before, sometimes even the day before the actual shift or that same morning. So you can know that your shift is in January on Tuesday from 9 to 5. But when that Tuesday morning comes, the store manager will decide where you will be. Are you going to be, if we're talking about retail, are you going to be in the fitting room 2 hours and then move to the cash register 1 hour and then do the customer service 1 hour and so on. So these decisions, like a decision about how this day will actually look like, that happens day off. And it's based actually on who is available that day, and then what skills we have, what the traffic will look like in the store, and so on. So this second part is that part that we want to investigate more and improve that more in Quinyx. So this is one of the examples of the workaround that we have heard exists today. And this is the pattern that we have heard people do in order to resolve this problem. So first one is that you would sometimes download a report, for example, a daily schedule, and then you would get the information of schedule shifts, open that in the Excel or print that out, and add more information into that report. Information about, as I said, stations, positions, roles, location. That would be a step one. But this means that you are, like, the pain point connected to that is a double work that you need to maintain in 2 places. Then you would fill the assignments, who is doing or who is working where and when. But because that lives in a spreadsheet or lives on a paper, you got no actual visibility. And also it is really hard for you to see how many people I have working on a cashier, let's say today, and understand that on that smaller level. Next step would be that you would actually share that with your team. So you would print this report, post it on the wall, or send this around. People or your employees might using the mobile app, and then they don't really see those assignments there. So there would be, in some situations, a communication gap before they actually arrive to work and then see what assignments they need to perform when they come to work. And sometimes when it comes to all the updates, we are aware that this is really unpredictable times. And sometimes someone can call in sick. A lot of different changes can happen. And in that case, you would need to make sure that all the replanning happens. And that sometimes can be also painful and would require a double work to do that in 2 places. So this is my high-level explanation of the problem. I do see that there is a lot of other things that might be connected to this. But I wanted to share all of this with you. First of all, to show you where we are. So we are currently in the early discovery of this problem. We are not in the process of building a solution for this because we are currently not even sure how the right solution might look like. What we want to do now is that we want to validate this problem, so to understand, is this actually a real problem for our customers? So that's the first step. We want to learn how you actually do the daily planning today. Are you actually using those Excel sheets or other sheets that would help you? Or are you maybe doing that in Quinyx? Maybe you have found the best way to do that in Quinyx as well. And then we want to explore what the best solution for this is. I'm here today also to ask you for your help. So if any of this problem statement that I shared with you resonated with you, if you recognize that you have the same problem, same file, or same printed schedule, we would love to talk with you about that and invite you to be part of our discovery session, basically. One of the main topics would be, how do you do the daily planning? What is painful about that today? And then also how costly or time consuming that is for you working this way today, basically. I think, and it should be the case, that we have shared the link where you would be able to apply for these discovery sessions. So we will have all of that collected, and then I would reach out to you separately where we can arrange the best time slot for us to meet about this topic. All right, this would be all from my side today. Thank you very much. And I will now hand over to Yuli for the final slides.
Great. Thank you so much, Maya. That was really interesting. And if you haven't already, I really recommend filling out the form to work with Maya and her team on discovery. It is really great to have a direct line to our product team, and you really can help shape the future of daily planning. All right, so save the date. Here is our Quinyx Unlocked schedule. Our next one is March 11th. The agenda and sign up will be available very soon, but we're really excited about what we're going to offer you. So we'll be announcing that soon. And one more slide. All right, save the date. If you haven't registered already, we encourage you to register for our Navigate conference in May. It's back. We had a great one last year. If you're in Stockholm, you're welcome to join us in person. It'll be at 6, which is a beautiful venue in central Stockholm, but you can still join virtually if you don't happen to be in Sweden. So just click the link and register, and we will see you then. It's a great way to connect with our product team, our other customers, and just learn more about Quinyx. So thank you very much. We do not take the time you spend with us for granted. So thank you for joining us for this session, and we will see you in March. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.